Hello everyone and welcome to Gamers Conclave. This is episode 3 of our Battleborn build series, and today we're going to be taking a look at Miko. This is going to be our poisonous combat medic build, and before we get into the video, I just wanted to say I've posted this on Reddit and a few other places. These builds are not designed to be the best thing in the game. We're not looking to push stats to their maximum or anything like that. We're just trying to show you the builds that we have the most fun with, and the whole idea behind showing you guys every helix that a character has to offer. Maybe you can see something you haven't seen before, or if you're new, maybe you could see everything that the character has to offer, so you'd be more willing to give that character a chance if you haven't tried them out before. Also wanted to say that this video is going to be following a very similar format to our Whiskey Foxtrot video, except we've made some tweaks to it that we hope you guys enjoy. So let's jump into Miko. Alright, here's Miko's ability page. Don't want to read everything. We're just going to go over a little bit of it. Molecular mycology is Miko's passive. His kunai are going to deal damage over time with each throw. Skill 1 is biosynthesis. Popping is going to heal Miko for over 5 seconds. It's also going to make his heal beam more powerful. Skill 2 is Cloud of Spores. It's essentially just a grenade that you toss out. It's going to deal damage on impact, and it's going to leave behind a cloud of spores that's going to slow enemies for the next 4 seconds. And then his ultimate is Fungus Among Us. It is incredible. It's hands down probably the best ultimate in the game, if not arguably one of the best. You're going to toss it out. Miko's going to take his head off, or her head off, or its head off. I'm not really sure what Miko is. It's going to take its head off, and it's going to toss it out and give you some AoE heals. The thing has a ton of health. It lasts for a while. It's an excellent, excellent ability. Before we get into the helix, don't let the name of this build fool you. Your number one job is still going to be healing. Just don't forget that. We're just going to show you how you can build Miko and get a little bit more utility out of him to go with his heals and do a good bit of damage as well. Alright, taking a look at the helix. What we're going to do here is we're going to show you, I'm going to talk about each helix. We're going to show you footage of each helix, and then we're going to go with our pick. Okay, so on the left we have First Responder. Whenever you pop Biosynthesis, healing an ally is going to increase Miko's movement speed. And then on the right we have Breathe Deep. Throwing out the Cloud of Spores is going to intensify the slow. Neither one of these skills are that great to me. It's kind of a toss-up. For the purpose of how we're building Miko to have a little bit more of a combat edge, I tend to go with Breathe Deep, but we're going to take a look at each helix first, and then I'll let you know what we go with. Okay, let's take a look at First Responder. 15% movement speed increase when you have Biosynthesis active, and you're healing an ally with a healing beam. This skill can synergize very nicely with another skill later in the tree. Alright, Breathe Deep. You're just going to see the more intense slow effect here. Alright, so we're going to go with Breathe Deep on the right. The slow is just so much more useful to me, but as I said, neither one of these skills are that great. And what the 100% slow means, it's just from what I can tell, it's just going to make the slowing effect slower. It doesn't make it last longer or anything like that. Moving on to level 2, we have Regenerative Aura on the left. Popping Biosynthesis will also heal allies standing near you, or heal Thyself. Whenever you pop Biosynthesis, healing an ally will heal Miko. Let's take a look at these skills. Alright, Regenerative Aura. Whenever you activate Biosynthesis, the healing is extended to nearby allies. No healing beam required. And Heal Thyself, a very powerful ability. Alright, so for this, we're going to go with Heal Thyself. Regenerative Aura does have its uses, but the strength of Heal Thyself is just too great to ignore. And like I said, you're still going to be doing some healing, so... But Regenerative Aura is still useful, especially for a combat Miko. You don't have to focus so much on healing, but the utility of Heal Thyself is just too good to pass up. At level 3, we have 3 options. We have Evolutionary Emergence, which is a cooldown on all skills. We have Plentiful Healing, which is going to make the heal beam stronger. And then we have Swift Draw, which is a 50% reload speed increase. Very quite substantial. Let's take a look at each option. Alright, Evolutionary Emergence. The 15% cooldown reduction just isn't that great for me. It's not that powerful. I suppose it could have some utility if you were using it with gear. However, I just don't think that's that big of a number to warrant that choice. Alright, the mutation. This could be viable if you want to go with more of a pure healing build. Anything extra could help. And then Swift Draw. The 50% reload speed is a great number. Alright, so this is a combat Miko build as well as healing. We're going to go with Swift Draw. It's just far too useful. The 50% reload speed is a very powerful increase on reload. You're definitely going with that. At level 4, another 3 options here. We have Trail of Spores. Whenever you toss out the grenade, it's going to leave, the cloud of spores is going to drop along the way. So tossing it out over an arc, you can get about, like, the most I think I've seen is about 3 total slow fields. We have Sticky Spores, which is going to turn your grenade pretty much into a mine. You can toss it out at a location, and an enemy will run over it and trigger it, and will trigger the damage and trigger the cloud of spores at that location. And then we have Spore Shock. This is going to turn his grenade into it's going to trade the slow for a stun, but it has to be a direct hit. Let's take a look at each skill. Alright, here's Trail of Spores. This is great for clearing waves of minions, slowing all of them down. Sticky Spores, this is going to turn the cloud of spores into a mine. It's a very cool skill. And then sacrificing the slow for the stun with Spore Shock. Alright, this one's tricky because there's potential in all of them. I just think that the slows and covering more of the battlefield with slows is just so much more useful. So we're going to go with Trail of Spores on the left for our build. Alright, at level 5, we have another 3 options here. We have Toxic Transfusion, which is going to give, whenever you do the damage over time, it's going to work as lifesteal. We have Pervasive Poison, which any damage dealt by Miko will apply molecular mycology. And then finally we have Pandemic. Molecular mycology will spread to nearby enemies affected. Let's take a look at each option. Alright, we have Toxic Transfusion. Again, 50% is just not that high of a number, but it's going to apply lifesteal to your molecular mycology. Pervasive Poison is an awesome ability. So all damage dealt is going to apply your molecular mycology damage over time. And then Pandemic. This is great for wave clear. It's going to apply the damage over time to everything near your original target. As long as it's within range. Alright, this is another one that's a little tricky. I don't think that the 15% lifesteal is that great, so we're going to toss that one out. So it's a toss-up between Pervasive Poison and Pandemic. I'm going to lead towards Pervasive Poison, and we're going to show you why for this build. It's going to synergize well later with the skill down the tree. Let's move on to level 6. Alright, we have another 3 options here. We have Probiotics, which is going to increase the effectiveness of biosynthesis. We have Healer's Oath, which is going to increase heal beam when you have biosynthesis popped. And then we have Spore Strike, which is going to increase the damage of your cloud of spores. Let's take a look at each option. Alright, we have Probiotics on the left. Increases the strength of biosynthesis.
Collector B lost.
Healer's Oath is going to increase the strength of your heal beam.
Our enemies are attacking a mercenary camp.
It's going to be a very useful skill, especially if you want to go with a more of a healer-based Miko, pure healing. And then Spore Strike, just going to increase the damage of your cloud of spores. Alright, again, the 15% increase on biosynthesis just isn't that great enough to me. So we're going to be looking at Healer's Oath and Do More Harm. I'm sorry, not Healer's Oath and the Spore Strike. This one's kind of a toss-up. But I'm going to say that since your main job is still healing, we're going to go with the 25% increase. That's going to make this thing 50% stronger whenever Biosynthesis is popped. Healer's Oath is the utility from that is just going to be far greater than the damage increase on the Cloud of Spores grenade. So moving on to level 7, we have 2 options here: Fight or Flight on the left, Bladeslinger on the right. We're going to take a look at them, but I think you know which one we're going with. Alright, Fight or Flight. This is the skill that I mentioned earlier that can synergize well with your increased movement speed from the first responder. If you went with first responder, I would definitely go with Fight or Flight. That's the only way you're going to get the most use out of those skills. And then Bladeslinger, the increased attack damage is just awesome.
It is done.
Enemy sentry eliminated.
Alright, again, we're also looking to make Miko a bit more effective on combat, so we're going to go with the attack speed. Alright, on level 8, with another 2 options here, we have Biosynergy on the left, Residency on the right. This one's kind of a toss-up, but let's take a look. Alright, we have Biosynergy on the left. It's going to increase, whenever you use Biosynthesis and you heal someone, you're going to increase the cooldown time 1 Biosynthesis. Didn't protect it though. And then Residency, it's going to make Biosynthesis last even longer. Okay, so since you're going to be doing more combat, you're going to be out there trying to fire more, so you may not be able to be using the heal beam as much, even though that still is your primary job. I'm gonna beat that dead horse until we're done with this. Your job is to heal, guys. Do not run around as a pure combat Miko. You're gonna make a lot of people upset. But for this, we're gonna go with the Biosynergy on the left. The cooldown reduction is awesome, and making your heal beam stronger is great. Although it lasting for 5 seconds longer is also useful because that's more healing that you can put out with the heal beam as well as healing yourself. So I mean, it's kind of a toss-up, but I think the 30% cooldown is better than the 5-second duration. At level 9, it's another 2 options here. You got Spore Storm, increase the area of effect radius, and Resilient Strain, increase the lingering effect of the Cloud of Spores. Let's take a look.
Behold,
alright, we have Spore Storm on the left. It's going to increase the AoE.
New target. Enemies are attacking a mercenary camp.
There you go. Look at the size of that. Just awesome. And then Resilient Strain. This is going to synergize well with your Trail of Spores, because it's going to make each one of those AoEs that it drops last 10 seconds total. Just insane. Alright, we're going to go with Resilient Strain. The extended duration on the slow is just awesome. Although the 50% area of effect radius is nice, it's not better than the having a 10-second slow, especially when we combine that with our Trail of Spores. It's just awesome. Alright, at level 10 we have 3 options. I think this is one of the weakest mutations in the game. It sounds good, but for the huge reduction to your health of the mushroom, it almost kind of feels, you know, useless. Like, it really does kind of negate the whole cooldown in my opinion. But let's take a look at these 3 options real quick. Alright, so for level 10 we have Bark Skin. And first we're going to show you Wrath. This is going to Wrath destroying a normal mushroom without that choice. Now this is with Bark Skin active. Alright, the mutation.
Hostile small mercenaries closing in.
Did we do something strange?
Personally, I just don't think that it's worth it, the amount of health that you lose. Though the cooldown speed is nice, if only there was a way you could do it without losing all that health, but I guess it would be way too overpowered, so makes sense to me. Sucks that you have to waste the mutation on a skill that really, like, I would never choose.
Bask and embrace.
Alright, and then finally, Vicious Strain. This is awesome. It's gonna go nice. Synergize very well with Pervasive Poison.
Lost.
Alrighty, as you can see, we're gonna go with Vicious Strain because this is a combat Miko as well as a healing Miko, and Pervasive Poison combined with Vicious Strain, it, like you saw, it just melt Wrath away, so that's definitely what we're gonna go with. Alright, so that is the build. Next up, we're gonna show you guys just a quick overview of each choice, and then we're gonna talk about the gear. Alright, so that was the build. We're gonna get into gear here. Okay, now for Miko, I like to stack attack speed gear. I know you might be thinking, why? Why aren't you going with healing? You are a healer. That's perfectly okay. Stacking healing is a good option as well, but for the way that I build Miko and the way I like to play Miko, I like to get out as much kunai as I can to spread those DOTs around, and I think that Miko is a strong enough healer on his own. Alright, so that's going to wrap up the video here. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you like the new format. Please let us know in the comments, and if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode.